As Mike said, I'm Kelly Sattler. I'm here from Michigan State University. I'm going to talk to you about chunky content in context. This is sort of a mashup of my takeaway from two talks, one being Karen McGrain's, who was a keynote at DrupalCon, and Derek Featherstone at Web Visions. So Karen proclaimed death to WYSIWYG, and this was built because WYSIWYGs were built primarily for the print model. And I'm not saying print is dying, but I am saying that how the web is changing and how we view it is changing, so we need a new model for it. So instead of having the content creator also design the layout, applications need to provide them with a simple form, a fill-in-the-blank system that allows the data to be chunked out. The application or the person then can take each field with appropriate metadata, and then that would allow the designer to create the page as appropriate. They can pull just the chunks of data that they want because they are stored and accessible in a very consistent format, and then they can place them in the right location. Using these chunks of content, the designers are able to select only the pieces they want in order to create templates that can then self-populate as new content becomes available. This allows the content creators to create and the designers to design. Multiple templates are necessary because everyone doesn't necessarily view things the same way, which leads me to our first context, which is screens. We don't know if people will be viewing this on a 13-inch screen or a 50-inch plasma television. But these aren't the only two. They can also possibly be on small screens. So a tablet, a cell phone, an e-reader. By chunking up the data, the designer can pick and choose what gets displayed and what doesn't. So perhaps for a smaller screen, just the abstract and a link to the full story. But we have other screens as well. There's alternate screens. So we have street signs now, but as new products come to market, such as the smartwatch or your refrigerator, new templates can be created, and they can use the same content that was originally entered, and it would simplify the whole process. So what we have now is we have chunks of content. They're consistently labeled, and they'll fit on any screen. But what else? So I want to talk to you about two other contexts, one being time and the other being location. So if you would, imagine with me a conference website. What do you care about when you visit that? What do you care about most? And does that change over time and depending upon location? So what's first? The first thing when you go to a conference website is registration. You want to make certain that you can attend and you secure your interest. You bought the ticket, and next, assuming it's a multi-day conference, you're going to want to know where you're going to stay. So show a page that has something to do with the hotel. Is there various hotels that are associated with the event? Do they have pricing, special pricing? Show a map that would, show their location in relationship to the conference center. The site should also capture the hotel information, so not in a stalking way, but to help out later. About 2 months before the event happens, that's about the best time to buy a plane ticket. So if there's particular arrangements with an airline, or at least minimally show what airports are nearby so that people can go there. When you're days within the event, people are going to be concerned about what's happening. So promote instead session planning, evening events that are happening. Is there a mobile app that they could download to track their preferences? And advertise that too. It's a day of travel now. You've landed at the destination airport. The first thing you're going to want to do is actually pull out your cell phone and wake that up. Using the conferences app, it can tell you where the person is, and you can help them find their way from the airport to their hotel because you've captured that information. Provide them with transportation options. So say you know that the person's at O'Hare Airport and that they can take the blue line by going downstairs and get off at the State Street exit because that's the one that's closest to where the hotel is. Perhaps they're driving, so if they logged in and they see that I'm on Highway 94, then give me directions to the hotel or the conference center. Let it be my choice. Tell me where I can park and how much that would cost, and once I get to my destination, I'm probably going to want to register and get my material. So on the day of the conference itself, you have your mobile app, and there's so many opportunities to push out information based on the person's location. So if the only thing that's happening right now is the keynote speaker, give them a map so that they can find it. Otherwise, the easiest thing that you can always do is to make certain that if there are sessions available, don't default to the first day at 8 a.m. if it's now the third day and it's 2 p.m. Wi-Fi could be iffy. They don't want any page loads. So in summary, applications should be created with a form for capturing content, allowing it to be chunked up and tagged, so that designers can create templates that will change based on screen time and location.